Hello everyone, starting from the beginning of 2026, Amazon is making access to its seller partner paid service. First, what exactly is an API? Second, what is the seller partner API? Third, why specifically now? Is it true that Amazon has run out of money? Fourth, why should I know this if I'm not a developer, but an Amazon seller? Let's thoroughly examine all of these questions. Here we go. Starting in 2026, Amazon is finally, and I really mean finally, in my personal opinion, introducing a subscription for using their seller partners API. To begin, let's clarify what an API actually is in principle. We have two ways of interacting with data. The first method is to enter the seller's personal account, view a dashboard, click export to an Excel file, and then scroll through all the necessary data within that Excel file. The second method is to interact with the data directly via API. First of all, Amazon specifies the exact format it is prepared to provide data through its API. We write software code in which we request this data from Amazon. We then receive it, as we say, through an API, and then based on this data, we develop various analytical services, PPC management tools, and repricers. In short, different data manipulations can be performed with the information we've obtained via the API. And now we will list them all once again. If you're using a repricer, analytical services, or PPC management tools, all of these services absolutely rely on the Amazon Seller Partner API. I'm part of a really lively chat group, and they decided to discuss this news there. And a question came up, why was it free of charge before, but now specifically it's become a paid service? And the first response I got was that Amazon was in desperate need of money. Obviously, that was just a joke. Well, I don't think that's the reason, though there's only a joke to it. My opinion is if you can make money from clicks, from providing access to copies, from data, and not from real, let's say, tangible earthly business, that is not from warehouses, not from warehouse operations, not from purchasing goods, then it's always better, of course, to earn from clicks. And really, if Amazon can do it, then why wouldn't they? The only issue is that the current costs are so high, they're unlikely to boost Jeff Bezos's profits to the next level, though perhaps they've just started cautiously. We will have to see how this whole situation develops. So the initial assumption that they're in very desperate need of money might indeed be a valid one, but it's quite possible that for the time being, this was not the main underlying reason. The second possible explanation was that with the widespread adoption of vibe coding and all these new AI agents, now that everyone can write code, Amazon simply experienced a massive influx of unoptimized queries. There's been a significant increase in the number of third-party sellers who frankly don't really know what they're doing, and I believe Amazon has decided to put a stop to this to really tighten the regulations, and they've announced, all right, we'll still grant you access, but only if you make a firm commitment and are prepared to pay. The price is currently set at $400 per year. This means it's a somewhat prohibitive cost designed to prevent just anyone from using my API, and instead only those who can afford at least $100 to $400 annually. Now let's discuss the short-term implications of this new feature for Amazon sellers. Firstly, your vendors, your contractors, your services that you use to automate certain functions will now have additional expenses. They will incur additional costs. Perhaps they'll just incorporate these into the overall cost of their subscriptions, or maybe they'll pull themselves together, really focus and optimize their requests and ensure that in practice everything is handled much more intelligently, and the overall cost won't actually change all that much. Well, $1,400 a year, that's really not the amount of money yet that every single client will truly notice. On a more positive note, some services will simply cease to exist, and the overall average quality of these services that we as Amazon sellers are currently receiving, that average level will definitely rise. So it's not like just anyone can now simply cobble something together on the fly, send a whole bunch of thoughtless requests to Amazon, and then just provide an analytics service. No, I believe the average level of services offered in the market will significantly improve, and for us, this is truly positive news. To conclude, I'd like to share a thought that genuinely occupies my mind: why Amazon doesn't develop its own products for sellers, and why it doesn't make them truly effective. Why is there such a significant need in the marketplace for this vast army of third-party vendors who offer various services, providing essential tools for repricing, detailed analytics, and comprehensive PPC management? Why isn't Amazon offering this to its own sellers within its own platform? Perhaps it's simply not a priority for them. Amazon makes its profit from other things, and creating beautiful dashboards for sellers is just not what they should be spending their time on.
It could be that this is some kind of strategy.
Well, you can certainly do PPC advertising within Amazon, but it's quite complicated to understand. And it's possible that many newcomers will end up spending a lot of unnecessary money. And that, of course, benefits Amazon. Now, it does sound like a conspiracy theory, although I don't really know why Amazon can't just create one simple button to make good internal PPC advertising for me. They must be thinking something about it. Let's quickly summarize our discussion. A paid API for sellers isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it offers quite a few advantages. And why exactly now, you ask? Well, that's because the Vibe coders really put in the effort. Wishing you successful sales. Bye for now.